everyone. Welcome to this edition of Keep, Watch, Pass. I'm Jason, and joining me, as always, my lovely wife, Carrie. Carrie, how are you doing today?
Doing great. How you do?
I am doing very, very well. We have a doubly fun episode for everyone today because we are talking about cinematic second servings, if you will. We're talking about sequels, but we're only talking about films that are the second in a series. So movies that were about part 3 or part 4 aren't actually going to qualify. We are only talking about part 2s or seconds in the series. So in saying that, Carrie, before we get into our keep, our watch, and our pass, did you find that narrowing it down to only the second movies of a series made it tougher for you?
Not as much. I just found that there's a lot of comparing the first or sometimes the third, or if we were to be talking about the Fast and the Furious franchise,
the 10,000th,
or even the Expendables, right? It's like it goes on and on and on and on. But no, I mean, specifically, there's some movies where there's a sequel and you're left questioning why. Did they not say what they needed to say? And then there's some movies that you just want more of. So, and again, then you get the 10 plus, Fast and the Furious. So,
right.
Yeah, there was a lot of comparison, but I found it challenging too to remember or to like the distinct difference between the second movie to the first. Because usually when you watch like a movie that has a sequel, it kind of, the storyline just continues, right? It keeps going. In some respects.
In some respects.
And
it's going to be interesting because I have a feeling this is going to be one of those ones where the pass may have been harder to come up with than the keep, because they always say that the sequel is never as good as the original. So I'll be curious to see how we do on our picks here.
Thank God you said that, because the pass was what I was really struggling with.
Really?
Oh my gosh. I mean, it was easy enough to defend, it was easy enough to pick the keep and the watch. Because, I mean, you could still pick your two movies, whether it's one that you keep on your shelf or whether it's one that you stop what you're doing and watch every time it's on. It's still giving it its due respect. But to say that you're going to pass on a movie, that to me is like the complete opposite thinking that is the fundamental of, and fun being like capitalized fundamental of it's not that bad, and trying to find the good things to say, and to say that you're going to pass on a movie is like kind of negative, and I don't want to go there.
And that's the funny thing. We're over 100 episodes into It's Not That Bad. So we've kind of like trained ourselves in a Stockholm Syndrome kind of way to find good things to say about them. And now, like once a week, we get to sit there and say, nope, this movie is crap. And it feels odd.
Sometimes it's easier than that. Sometimes,
yeah. But let's get into this. We are about to go through movies that were the second in a series, and we're going to pick 3 of them each: a keep, a watch, and a pass. The keep is one that we hold in high regard, and in this case might actually in some cases be better than the original. The watch is when we're like, yeah, okay, cool, it's on, it's all good, we'd watch it, which may be equal to the original. And then there's the pass, which may probably follow the rule of not as good as the sequel or nowhere near the sequel. So it's going to be very interesting to see what movies we've picked and why we picked them. So, Kara, we're going to start with you. What is your keep sequel, or your keepwell, if you will?
Ooh, I like that. I'm going to go with Clerks 2.
Okay. So we're talking about the one with Rosario Dawson and they're working at the movies.
Yes. That, of the Clerks franchise, the first one was just classic. Like, the first one laid the groundwork, but this one was just fun. Like, they were having fun making this movie. It's like, it was just fun. You know, it was the one that they kind of got they built the relationship between Dante and Rosario Dawson. I forget her name in the series.
I think it was Claire. I'd have to double check now.
No, I don't think it was, but anyway, you get the idea. And by the third one, it was heartbreaking. But anyway, I digress. This movie was just fun from start to finish, and I loved it.
It was Becky.
I was there for that. Yes.
It was Becky.
That does sound right.
Thank you, Google. It was Becky. You know what's funny? I didn't pick a single Kevin Smith film.
Ooh.
And it's interesting because for a second, I was actually considering a Kevin Smith film for my pass, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. The other thing, too, is I found it really hard because, and you're going to laugh at this, for the first time in Keep Watch Pass history, all 3 of my picks have actually already been done as It's Not That Bad episodes. So, so even the Keep and the Watch do qualify. I know because I talked about them already. My Keep is Tron Legacy. I freaking love Tron Legacy, and normally you're the one who likes to break the internet. I'm going to break the internet on this one here. To me, Tron Legacy is the superior Tron film.
Oh, even I know that's a big statement.
I am throwing my disc down and saying Tron Legacy is the better film because I felt the world building was a lot better in Tron Legacy. Like Tron itself is great, and especially of its time. The movie was way ahead of its time in film design and storytelling and basically using the computer language as dialogue, if you will. Like it was a smart film, but I prefer Tron Legacy better. It expanded on the original and made the world bigger. And then, of course, that led to a wonderful animated series, Tron Renegade, and love that series. But again, like I freaking love Tron, and I stand by Tron Legacy. And if you go listen to the Tron Legacy episode, from everything from the actors and a very, 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 very flamboyant Michael Sheen in that film to the Daft Punk soundtrack, everything was on point with that. Now, that being said, I'm sure when Jared Leto does his Tron movie, that's probably end up being my pass because I'm sure he'll bet on it, but I'm not going to prejudge. I'm not going to prejudge. But to me, Tron Legacy, the better Tron film. But now we get to our watch films. And since I already spoiled it, you have at this point probably about 105 episodes to pick from and think, well, what film is it going to be? Let me make you wait no further. My watch is The Chronicles of Riddick. And I'm going to say this, I preferred The Chronicles of Riddick over Pitch Black. I found it to be the superior Vin Diesel film in that case. And again, it's because of the world building. Chronicles of Riddick, to me, is a much better sci-fi film than Pitch Black was. And I can't believe I'm sitting here espousing wonderfully about a Vin Diesel film, but here we are. And I know you haven't really watched the Riddick films. I get it. Trust me when I say, if you're looking for a very good sci-fi film and you're looking for one of the more poetic death scenes in a film, Chronicles of Riddick really delivers. And I think it definitely got unfairly maligned by the critics. I get it. It's vastly tonally different from Pitch Black. And if you were looking for Pitch Black 2, you weren't getting it. You got a very different film. So if you went in with the weight of expectation of Pitch Black, then yeah, you're going to be disappointed. So go in, watch The Chronicles of Riddick for what it is, an awesome sci-fi film, and forget Pitch Black exists. But Carrie, we're now to you. What's your watch film?
I'm ready. And where I said the continuation of a story, I'm going to go with Kill Bill 2.
Really?
Yeah.
You picked a Tarantino movie?
To watch.
To watch, yes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Anytime it's on, whether it's Kill Bill 1, 2, if it's if it's a Tarantino movie, I'm stopping what I'm doing and I'm watching it. Mm-hmm. And I'm probably the one playing the DVD. But as far as storytelling, I mean, it had all of the elements of true to Tarantino's style, where it was almost like chapters and like flipping from one storyline to another, but it all kind of came together in Kill Bill 2. I mean, the entire concept of of this group of what,
trained assassins.
Yeah, but they're kind of like the anti-hero, yet you're really rooting for the bride.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you really want her to inevitably kill Bill.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Kill Bill Volume 2 is not bad. Kill Bill Volume 1 to me is the superior Kill Bill film.
It absolutely is, but I had to pick a second.
I get.
So,
I mean, as a watch, it makes sense.
Yes.
It absolutely does make sense. It pales in comparison to the first part, but I do get it. And this is one of those things where you're going to have films where, Tron Legacy is definitely a sequel, right? Kill Bill Volume 2 is more like a continuation as opposed to a sequel. It's kind of like looking at Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, where it's just the second half of the film as opposed to a sequel itself. So that's where it's tricky, but I like it. And really, it's the only Tarantino sequel out there.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Which I kind of like. I kind of like the fact that he doesn't. Yes, there are ties to the Tarantino world, of course, with the Red Apple cigarettes and little nods here and there kind of thing, but nothing is really a sequel except for Kill Bill. But the fact that that was filmed at the same time doesn't make it your traditional sequel. So it still kind of works in Tarantino world. Like I like the pick. Don't be wrong.
Otherwise, it would have been like a 6-hour movie.
Would you watch it though?
I would.
Like, would you?
100%.
Here's the thing, and you see this a couple of times, right? Like, Deathly Hallows, Part 1 and Part 2, right? The original idea of the Justice League that Zack Snyder had created was going to be a Part 1 and Part 2, right? Kill Bill, Volume 1, Volume 2. At the time, could you justify putting it as one film into theaters and have people sit down for 3.5, 4 hours? Because, I remember when we went to go see The Batman and my ass was numb by the end of that film.
But it's a Tarantino film, so you know that I would be on the edge of my chair and enjoying every minute.
I'm going to make probably not a bold statement, but I will say this, that if directors started to do that, then instead of doing sequels, just film it all as one film, you are going to hurt the sales of soft drinks in movie theaters, because no one's going to want to drink anything, because 3.5, 4 hours, you're getting up to pee. You are.
That or put an intermission.
I wonder if that could work. I do. Here's the thing. And I actually, the fact that you said that, I would love if a drive-in movie theater had a Kill Bill night. Where you do Kill Bill Volume 1 and then like 10 minutes of let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. And then Kill Bill Volume 2 right afterwards. Make it happen.
That would be amazing.
Drive-in movie theaters need to do this. They need to go back to the well, because I think there's going to be a stretch this summer where they're going to be dry of films because, of course, the writer's strike and the actor strike that lasted so long, and the actor strike, as of recording this, is still, technically speaking, going on. I don't think they've reached a deal yet. You're going to have a very dry summer for films. So for drive-in movie theaters, this is brilliant. Think of the movies you could have, right? Again, Deathly Hallows Part 1 and Part 2 in the same night. Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame in the same night, right? Like that, it would be brilliant.
It doesn't have to be a drive-in, though.
But it'd be fun.
Most specialty theaters, like the review cinemas,
Mm-hmm.
right? The ones that whole like Rocky Horror Picture Show. That would be brilliant.
But I think for the summer, there's always something about, I love a drive-in.
True.
I love the drive-in.
It's true.
I've always loved the drive-in. And the thing is, there's something about the break at the drive-in. There's something about the intermission. It's part of the experience.
It's very true.
We got to go back to the drive-in this summer.
Okay.
Or, well, next summer. Because it's winter now, as we're getting close to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. It's past time.
Is
Make
it my
it past
pass?
time. It is your
it's
pass.
your pass.
It's your pass.
Oh, it's my turn.
Yeah.
Okay, I actually changed my pass.
Okay.
So
you passed on your pass.
I passed on my pass, and I'm actually going to put out there in the ether a Tarantino pass for the first time ever.
How? He has no other sequels.
Well, no, but they did make a, if I'm not mistaken, or is it a fever dream?
Oh, I know what's coming now.
I am passing on From Dusk Till Dawn 2 because it was just that bad.
I don't blame you.
It was just that bad. You know what? I can't even believe that I'm sitting here saying this because I really, really hate that I'm saying this, but the first one was so good. It was, even though it was kind of like, almost like they went in a completely different genre of, zombie film when they got into the, oh my God, the bar.
The Titty Twister.
Titty Twister, thank you. I'm like, I know I should know this, but it's been a while since I've watched it.
Mm-hmm.
But the second movie was just like, really? Like, it didn't need to happen. It did not need to happen. Yeah. Now, I don't know if you want to know my actual what I wrote down, but I'm holding strong here.
Here's the thing: we can always come back and do a sequels part 2, which is even funnier when you realize that it's the sequel of the sequels.
I like it.
Okay, so
right.
so hold on,
okay.
Hold on to that, Becca. Now people are going to be sitting there going,
"There's more.
There's more. There will be another."
But I hold strong. I maintain that it's my final answer.
There's the thing, right? And we literally just got finished talking about how cool it was that Tarantino never did a sequel. And no, he never did a sequel because it's one of those movies that happened, but really had no, aside from like, I think the Titty Twister, had no connection to the previous film. Like I think it was all different actors if I remember correctly, except for like maybe one or two.
They recast the brothers.
I get the idea of the series and trying to expand on it that way. But the thing is, if you're going to do a brand new or a sequel, have it tie in somehow. Like, I'm taking a look at the cast here, like Robert Patrick, Bruce Campbell, Tiffany Amber Thiessen, Danny Trejo. Like,
at least it had Danny Trejo,
right? But the thing is, like, aside from that, like, where's the connection, right? Like, and don't get me wrong, like Robert Patrick, Bruce Campbell, and Tiffany Thiessen, these are all very good actors, but did it need to be done? And was it just a spec script that they slapped on From Dusk Till Dawn 2 onto it to try to capitalize on it? And very similar to what you had with American Psycho 2, which has nothing to do with American Psycho, except for like a loose line of script and hope that people will watch it because American Psycho was a good movie. American Psycho 2 didn't need to be an American Psycho film. It was an okay enough film on its own. And I'm not trying to tee this up as American Psycho 2 be my past, because it's not. But that being said, when it comes to sequels that have next to no connection to the original that it's the sequel of, Son of the Mask definitely fits that bill. Like, this film, and even though I've done an episode of It's Not That Bad on this film was definitely hard to enjoy because you're coming off of the original the Mask, which is like peak Jim Carrey, which is our introduction to Cameron Diaz, right? And what an introduction for her, right? And it was so out there and so much fun and so like graphic design and character design. It was so good. And Son of the Mask was so not. And like literally the only character in Son of the Mask that was also in The Mask, if memory serves, was Ben Stein. And that was for like 3 minutes in the beginning. Like, that's like when we covered that Halloween Resurrection or whatever it was, or H2O or whatever the which one it was, where it's like Jamie Lee Curtis was there for 10 minutes and then boom, nope, we killed her. Now it's a whole different film. Like, you didn't need that. You did not need that. And here, you didn't need Son of the Mask. You didn't. Now, it's not as bad as the critics made it out to be because it wasn't that good, but it wasn't that bad. And it never really is as bad as the critics make it out to be because, well, we have a whole podcast that says it. But Son of the Mask, hard to love. I'm not going to lie. All right, Gary, thank you so much for this. And yeah, we're going to do a volume 2 of volume 2s here. So hold on to that film. Hold on to that pass because I'm sure we'll get around to that one. And now to you, our listeners, thank you for listening to this episode of Keep, Watch, Pass. You're going to get new episodes of this every Monday, so make sure you tune in and let us know what movies you would have as your Keep, Watch, Pass of sequels. Hit us up on social media at Not That Badcast or go to our website at notthatbadcast.com. Drop us a line, let us know what movies you would have picked. We'd love to hear from you. Until then, she's Carrie. You guys are awesome. This is Keep, Watch, Pass. Take care.
Hey folks, Stefan Shirazi and Renee Richardson here from the Metallica Report.
And we are proud members of the Pantheon podcast family, where the best of music and podcasts unite.
We've got something pretty cool for you. We're giving away an exclusive Metallica merch package worth over $250.
That's a whole lot of Scary Guys, Skulls, M72, and other sought-after Metallica swag. And we've made it easy for you to win. Follow and share the Metallica Report, and you're in the game. Go to pantheonpodcast.com/Metallica, enter your email, and hit that button to be entered to win.
And just like that, you're eligible for our monthly exclusive Metallica merch package.
And guess what, rockers? You can enter every month, so just do it. And while we love our global brothers and sisters, the lawyers won't let us ship outside the U.S.